Today I have a quick and dirty update for my Ash build, which now takes advantage of the brand new Augment for Yareli's Aquablades. Is the Augment really that good? I'm about to show you. But spoiler, yeah, it is that good. So DE dropped a bunch of new augments on us today, and the first one I started testing was Surging Blades, an augment for Yareli's Aquablades. Now this augment does two things. First, while Aquablades is active, it allows you to throw a single blade like you would a thrown melee weapon. The projectile seems to have unlimited range and infinite punch through on bodies, but not structures or terrain. Second, every time Aquablades or a thrown blade deals damage, 10% of its modded damage is added to a pool. The total collected damage, which is shown at the top right of your HUD, is how much additional damage your next thrown Aquablade will deal. Since the thrown blade's damage and bonus damage is based on the modded damage of Aquablades, which can be seen in the arsenal, it's affected by permanent strength sources like Umbral Intensify, of course, but also conditional sources like Growing Power, Energy Conversion, Empower, or Pax Bolt, but only if those things are active when starting up Aquablades. Throwing a blade doesn't count as casting an ability, so it isn't affected by what's active or inactive when you actually throw it. There doesn't appear to be a cap to this stacking damage, but it does reset each time Aquablades ends, so you're only limited by how many targets you hit and how long the ability lasts. But with a base duration of 45 seconds, that can easily be
decades. It could be infinite, I don't know.
Let's just say a long time, okay? In Steel Path missions, with increased enemy spawns, you can push that bonus damage over 100k with very little effort. And the kicker is that the thrown Aquablade has a guaranteed slash proc, meaning the bleed damage caused by all that stacking bonus damage is going to bypass enemy armor completely and absolutely liquefy everything it passes through. And just to reiterate, thrown blades have infinite punch through on bodies, so tossing a single empowered blade down a narrow corridor like this can easily cause multiple casualties. Now the Ash build itself required a few changes to account for this new functionality. Obviously I needed to drop something to make space for the augment, but I also wanted to gain back some efficiency. There's an energy cost each time you throw an Aquablade, which means negative efficiency would be less than ideal. So I've replaced Blind Rage with Transient Fortitude, which gives a smaller strength bonus, but the negative duration hurts much less than the negative efficiency. And I put the Surging Blades augment in place of Augur Message, which means another small hit to duration. In this slot here, I recommend using either Constitution to make up for a lot of that lost duration, or you can stick with Stretch if you like using Blade Storm on targets more than 17 meters away. In the X-List slot, I'm using Prime Sure-Footed only because I needed to forma the slot to use that mod for level cap runs. If you don't have PSF, or don't mind getting knocked down sometimes, you can slot Power Drift here to make up for some of the lost strength. Finally, I've removed Arcane Fury, since this build is now less reliant on Blade Storm, and replaced it with Arcane Aegis for a bit more survivability. The last thing I want to mention is the primer. If you remember my Ash video, I showed a kit gun I made just for spreading viral procs as quickly as possible in order to boost the damage from all our bleed procs. This still works wonderfully, but it's considerably less important since you'll be able to one-shot level 200 enemies without a single viral proc after building up a modest damage pool for Surging Blades. So figure out what your needs are and accessorize accordingly. And that's all I've got for today, but as always, I have more content in the works. Make sure you're subscribed so you get a notification when those go live. And don't forget, you can find this updated build, as well as all of my most up-to-date builds, at apocryphate.com. And please stop by our Discord sometime if you have any questions.